Day one of people not getting their SNAP benefits here in November, and I'm here to remind you, I don't feel bad for them. Do you realize that people on SNAP benefits are eating better than the rest of us? We literally have to scrounge and budget for our groceries for our children. We have to plan meals. We have to be ingredient households just to feed our children. And mind you, half of the people on SNAP benefits are illegal immigrants. Over 60% of them are illegal immigrants. This was never the way that it was supposed to be. Churches are supposed to feed people, food pantries, that's what they're there for. And somehow people felt comfortable letting the government control whether they eat or not. How embarrassing, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I don't need all the people in my comment section, in my DM saying, what about the people who fell on hard times? And what about disabled people? What about elderly people? Yes, those are the people that should be on it. Do I think that there are 42 million of them? Absolutely not. Do I think that it should cost $7.8 billion with a B to feed them every single month? Absolutely not. Do I think that the reason why our groceries have gotten so expensive is because of programs like this and illegal immigrants coming in and stealing our resources? Absolutely. That's definitely part of the problem. So no, don't feel bad. Keep the government closed. We need to see this through, and we need to make sure that we get rid of everybody who is on these benefits that don't need them.
Jake Day here. Welcome back. Today I got a good one for you. We are going to be going to the other side of the spectrum. We've seen a lot of videos about people complaining that SNAP is being canceled, where these individuals are complaining about the complainers. And some of these people are on SNAP themselves. I think you're going to enjoy this one, and don't forget to like the video. Let's get going.
There are two types of classes of people who are on food stamps. There's the class that really need them. And then there's the class that's taking full advantage of it, sitting on it, living on it, raising their kids off of it, ain't trying to make a different outcome for themselves. We don't care nothing about what y'all talking about, because if the SNAP get cut off, then there will be another SNAP, a reality SNAP, that you need to get up off your ass and go and find some job to do. Nobody is feeling sorry about somebody that never tried to make a difference out of their situation, never tried to get up, never tried to go get a job a day in their life. There's so many people out there that ain't never worked a day in their life, but have always been dependent on the government to take care of them. Well, now the government is coming to a crisis and everything's gonna hit the head. Now what y'all gonna do then? Sit around and watch y'all kids be hungry while y'all at home all day? Get up and go get a job. At the end of the day, this is serving us as an example that at all times we need to be prepared to do for ourselves and stop waiting on somebody to give us a fucking handout. Get the up, people.
Man, she went off there. Yeah, I think really when people are receiving government assistance long term, and I'm not talking about your month to month, you lost your job, so you're going to be on food stamps for a couple months until you find a new job, because your unemployment doesn't cover it. If somebody is on food stamps for a year, we need to provide some sort of assistance as far as life coaching goes. I'm not talking about therapy. For the most part, most people would do better having life coaches, somebody who's going to hold you accountable, especially men. Men don't need therapy. They need accountability buddies. They need somebody who's looking out for them and checking in on them and holding them accountable. That's why women are so good for men. Now that men aren't getting married at a young age, they're drifting, they're feeling lost. And that buddy, so to speak, can be replaced by friends, but a lot of friends end up getting married off, and then you can't even relate to them, and then they're doing their own thing and they're living their own lives. That's how it is for a lot of younger people who are struggling financially or career-wise. Not everyone needs 4 to 6 years of free education. If we were truly going to support people, it would be better spent on life skills, life coaching.
Are you ready for another uncomfortable truth where
Hell yeah, girly pop.
I say the quiet part out loud?
Are you gonna say the N-word? Don't do that. It's bad. Doesn't end well for most people.
SNAP and EBT benefits need to go back to basics.
What that means, I don't understand what that means.
They were created to help people get by.
Yeah, sure.
Not live.
We know what that means. It means cinnamon toast.
I don't get it. Like, I'm sure there's people who take advantage of the system. Listen, I have a fucking cousin who takes advantage of the system. It pisses me off. But what are you gonna do? Most people
you gotta rat them out.
Just need it. Most people need it to survive, and it's all good. And you want to know what pisses me off more than somebody that doesn't need EBT using EBT? It's fucking Walmart, bro. They pay so low that people have to go on SNAP benefits, even though they could pay them a more livable wage. And then Walmart, I think 8% of their entire organization's revenue or whatever comes from fucking taking in SNAP money. So I'm more pissed off at the corporations who pay people low so that they have to go on to food stamps than I am with somebody who's taking advantage of the system. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? A lot of people take advantage of a lot of things, and it's it is what it is. I'm going to focus my attention more on the big businesses. It would be a lot more productive if we used our energy to hey, Walmart, stop fucking around, than to shame Sally for like being maybe an asshole when most people are like chill. You know what I mean? Most people just need to survive.
A 2020 study by Gayo found that Walmart was the top employer of Medicaid and SNAP recipients in multiple states. A report by Americans for Tax Fairness estimates that Walmart employees rely on public assistance programs, costing taxpayers an estimated $6.2 billion in programs like food stamps and Medicaid. Yikes.
It's supposed to keep you fed, not fund a lifestyle. It should be just enough to get you by until you can get a better job.
What if you don't have a good job in the area? For me, the things that I believe in conservative wise are as little micromanagement as possible, as few regulations as possible. Doesn't mean you can just get rid of regulations, and like cutting out as much middleman as possible. So for me, for like welfare in general, I think there's like 103 different welfare organizations. That's really bloated. I would rather just give people money. Just give them money. I'm more of like, let's do like a negative income tax, you know? Let's make it so you don't pay any taxes up to $50,000. And then like, let's give people money based on how much money they make. So if you make no money, let's say we give you $10,000 a year. Let's say you make $10,000 a year, maybe we give you $8,000 a year. No, maybe you make $20,000 a year, maybe we give you $6,000 a year. You know what I mean? Like whatever. Negative income.
In theory, that should work, but it doesn't, because then you incentivize people not to work.
It's very, you know, whatever. And then it surges money into local economies, especially if they're small and shitty. Because it's really nice to go on some kind of welfare system in a financially robust area with jobs. But like if you live in some area that used to be a factory town and the factories are gone, and so there's no more infrastructure because those factories probably paid like thousands of workers and they were spending their money, which creates new jobs. But that's gone. Now everybody's on disability welfare because they have literally nothing else.
He is absolutely right about this. And anybody who travels the U.S., drive from one coast to the other, you'll see there's a lot of dead towns. It's crazy how many are just, and they're not considered dead, but you know, they've got a single high school. The high school numbers are declining every single year. They have less and less students, and it's sad. It's really, really sad. Every single one of those students, as soon as they get college age, they're out of there. They're out of there. They're not coming back.
It's not going to do shit for you. You know what I mean? So you need something a little more robust, in my opinion. Nobody's living luxury. Not everybody can necessarily get a job.
Assistance is meant to be a bridge, not a permanent address. And if the goal is food security, then we need to stick to real food staples like milk, eggs.
Milk is not really that healthy, so, but okay.
Cheese, bread.
At least, again, she's not necessarily that healthy. Like, okay, sorry.
Pasta, rice, dry beans.
What about like meat?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly is not that healthy either. It's very fatty and sugary. What are you talking about? You don't even, I'm not sure to be an asshole. You don't even know what like a healthy diet is. Like you'd want like leaner meats and cheeses. I mean, excuse me, leaner meats, chicken, turkey, mostly chicken, like less fatty things. Broccoli, carrots, you know, maybe like rice and beans is good too.
Apples.
What the hell are you talking about? Like, give them fucking, might as well just say, like, shake up a Mountain Dew and just shove it up your ass. You know what I mean? What are we talking about?
Tuna, fruits and vegetables, and canned goods.
Well, canned goods are very salty, so, but sure.
Not soda, chips, candy, and Little Debbie's.
All right, sure, I agree.
Okay, if I have to live on a reasonable food budget while I'm working.
I'm going to ask you guys a question, irrelevant to her, of course. Do you guys think I live on a reasonable food budget? For me personally, my personal philosophy that has nothing to do with her, you're not living on a reasonable food budget if you're overweight. Okay, I'm keeping 100 with you guys. This is irrelevant to you, of course. This is just for me. But don't say stuff like that.
This food stamp shit is pissing me off, and not for the reasons that you're probably gonna think. I receive EBT, or should, but of course today it didn't come through. But that's not something that I'm proud of. If you've been following me, then you know that last year I left a relationship. I have 3 kids. My youngest is special needs, and I'm homeschooling because their school got way too political. Now, when I left, I have no family, no friends, no one to call for help. So I had to apply for benefits. And like I said, that's not something to be proud of. And I'm not blaming anybody for the situation that I'm in. This is my responsibility, my fault. I should have waited until I got married to have kids. I was young and dumb and did stupid shit. And now this is where I am, and I'm trying my best to climb my way out of it. And I don't understand why anybody wants to be in a position where the government can go, you're not eating today. Why would anybody want to fucking live like that? And then the people talking about stealing. I don't know if y'all have really thought this through, but if y'all go rob all the grocery stores, prices are going to go up. And then the people who have climbed their way into at least middle class that can pay for their shit, all their prices are going to go up. But I don't think you've thought about either you're going to get your benefits back and they're going to run out faster because everything's going to be more fucking expensive, or you're going to have to figure something else out. And it's not like you can steal everything forever, so then you're going to have to pay more. Not to mention, it's just morally wrong. As much as my kids are thriving in homeschool, as much as I don't want to, I might have no choice but to put them back in school. Unless I can find some kind of work from home job. If you have any suggestions, I'm open to all suggestions right now. I've been open to all suggestions. I don't want to live like this. I don't understand why anyone wants to live like that. All of the dumbasses running are like, the government's paying my bills. Okay, well, now they're not. Now they're not. And now what the fuck are you gonna do? I don't know. It's just been pissing me off to see the people bragging about being on food stamps like it's something to be proud of. And then all the people saying that they're gonna steal a bunch of shit. That mindset clearly shows why these people are where they're at and why they're stuck where they're at, because they can't think past today. And all they give a shit about today is that the government pays for their food. Now, if and when they cut the benefits back on, I'm going to stay on them just as long as I have to, and I'm gonna be working double, triple time to try to figure out how to get away from that, because this is not the life I want for my kids. Why would anybody want that for their kids?
Yeah, I want to bring up one thing that she mentioned. She talked about people's living for today, living for tomorrow. I've noticed in my own life, the people in my life who are the most successful, actually, I take it back. The people who are least successful, because it's easier to notice what they're doing that is keeping them in the place that they're at, they don't have an ability to think past a couple of weeks. They're not making decisions today and doing things today that are going to put them in a better place 5 years down the road. This happens a lot where people say, well, I don't want to do this thing right now, so I'm not going to do this. Well, then I think, well, how are you going to feel in 5 years? How's the future you? How's the 30-year-old you going to feel? What do you think that the 30-year-old you is going to prioritize? What do you think the 40-year-old you is going to care about? This happens a lot with family size, whether or not you want to get married, whether or not you want to start looking for a spouse. What do you want to go into as a career? Now, a lot of times people get analysis paralysis. They choose not to go into something because they feel like, well, I might not want to do that for the rest of my life. Well, that's not how the economy is now. It hasn't been like that since at least 2002. When I was in high school, I noticed that the careers, the long-term careers were starting to go away. That you could do 3 or 4 or 5, 6 different careers in your lifetime. You know, working at the post office and getting a gold watch. I don't know if the watches were gold actually, but they had some sort of diamonds or something in them, or cuffs. That's not the case anymore. Even retirement plans associated with your employer, those are going away. Everything's going to be atomized. You're going to be your own business. You're going to be your own Hitachi. You're going to be your own Yamaha. And I say Yamaha because they make so many different products: water skis, motors, pianos. They can't decide what they want to be. But that's how you're going to have to be as an individual. Side note, one of my girlfriends from junior high used to wear these lace choker necklaces, and they just look good on anyone. They've imprinted on me hard.
The reason why people are mad about food stamps is not because of children on food stamps or the elderly on food stamps or disabled people using food stamps. People are mad because there are over 40 million people using SNAP benefits. And if you think that all of those 40 plus million people should be on food stamps, then you are beyond naive. The fact of the matter is there is a massive amount of people who actively decide to make food stamps a permanent part of their budget, even though they are completely able-bodied and completely able to work a full-time job. We're frustrated because we see people who are free riding off of our hard work. Yeah, I don't feel bad for able-bodied people who actively decided to take advantage of their neighbors by making their neighbors pay for their groceries, even though they should be paying for their groceries. I don't feel like a bad person for thinking that those people are wrong. It's not selfish of me to want to keep more of my own money. It's selfish of those people to expect others to pay for them when they are perfectly able to support themselves. They simply choose not to.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and check out this video right here. YouTube thinks that you will enjoy it. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.